Hello and welcome everybody to BBL. This is Season 10. Another new BBL season. This one is a big one for the league because for the first time we have split into two equal-sized leagues that will be playing alongside each other. One in the 03 league, one in the 01 league. I happen to be playing in both leagues, and so tonight we are kicking off opening week with my 01 team. This is the Humongous Blue Jays. My meme team drafted consisting of entirely tall kids, plus Dimitri, who is only a 3 in the game's code. He's not really tall the same way the others are, but I had to make do. People stole all the other tall kids that were left in the draft before that pick came along. This is most definitely a defense team with a mediocre offense, but we'll see what sort of stuff we can get done with this team, and hopefully we'll make for some lively games. Our opponent for this first game is going to be the Humongous Astros, coached by Freakshow55, one of the many new coaches joining the league this season. I know nothing about how good he is at single-player backyard baseball. He's commented, he drafted a power-heavy team. He's commented he's not a big fan of power, so maybe that's a good sign for me, and he won't do too well. We shall see. I'll just do the best that I can. Let's go and take a look at the roster. This is at my favorite field of Tin Can Alley. That said, I don't know that this team is super well-suited for it, but we'll see what we can get done. I will shuffle the defensive alignment around here some. I'll stick to Cinda at third. Third is my throwaway position on user defense. It doesn't see a lot of action. Billie Jean at first. I'll leave Randy on the mound. I'll put Lisa behind the plate instead of Tony for better defense on dinky grounders. I'll also watch Tony behind the plate for individual throws if I need to. Tony will go to short and put his arm to use there instead. Actually, Keisha at second base for Tin Can Alley seems like a pretty good plan. And then I'll stick Sally in left, Ricky in center, Dimitri in right. I think that's a good plan. Alright, my lineup. I wasn't able to experiment with this as much as I would have liked to preseason. Only 4 scrimmage games, and I couldn't really conclude until the last one that my lineup was messed up. But so my basic thought here, I have not a lot of power on this team. Keisha and Sally are my only 2 really big power hitters, and my next best is Dimitri. So my lineup strategy is based on spacing those out so that I don't go too long without any of them hitting. So Keisha's going to bat leadoff on my team. Dimitri's going to bat 7th, I think, and Sally will bat 4th, and then I can just fill in the rest of the lineup around that. Ricky bats after Keisha. Low power, but decent speed, and hopefully with her speed on the base pass, that'll help with him getting base hits afterwards, or else be a convenient time to have power-ups come into play. Then Jocinda after that is... I have good trust in Jocinda's bat to be decent in that spot. After Sally, we do Lisa for general getting on base or advancing runners. And then, yeah, we'll go ahead and do Randy after Lisa. I don't love Randy's bat. We're putting him here so he's not double play batting after Billie Jean. And at the bottom, Dimitri, then Billie Jean, who is just a weak hitter who's not very fast, just hoping to get on base, and then Tony afterwards to hopefully put a bit more power into it with her on base paths. The older draft of this lineup had Tony batting 6th, Randy batting 9th, but I'm not feeling super great about that. I feel like that's asking for double plays with Randy if Billie Jean does get on base. So this is what I'm going with. We'll see how it goes. And, yeah. It is worth noting I am playing this game on February 14th, which is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. But also, it is Ricky Johnson's birthday, so he has the birthday boost, and this is seemingly a pretty significant one. In some way, his batting is boosted from 1 to 4, has a small fielding boost, and most notably, his running is boosted. Now, 10 balls in running, who knows if that's a slow 10, a regular 10, or a super fast 10, but it is going to be an upgrade over 8 balls running, so I do have Ricky faster than normal for a single game, and if I'm going to have it in one place, Tin Can Alley's a pretty good place for it. So, I'm sorry, I'm getting comments in the chat about Control F. Can somebody explain? Do I need to fix something? Alright, well, I apologize to both the people on stream and anybody watching this recording. It seems like my microphone currently is not behaving very consistently. I don't know what's up with that. I will comment. I don't have any sort of professional mic. I only have the built-in microphone on my laptop. Who knows how good or bad that is. I just moved it a bit so it's pointing more directly at me. So hopefully that'll help. Yeah. I mean, if it's messed up right now, then yeah, I don't know. It's worth finding the setup before, so we'll go on. If I need to figure it out some other time, I will do so, but we are already live, and I can't stay up too late tonight. Alright. Here we go, game on. We'll see what's happening. The name of the game is just do our best. What happens, happens, and we'll see what we can do. Keisha Phillips leading off, and I am going to swing power with her. You won't see me doing this most of the season, but I think Allie, it's worth it. If I could get an enticing pitch. I forgot to go over the Astros defense, so let's do that quickly before we really get started. Frank Thomas on the mound is annoying. He's one of the best pitchers in the game and almost impossible to tire out. So that sucks. Cal Ripken Jr. at short is going to be probably the most dangerous other player on this defense. Yeah, good range, solid arm at short. Randy Uno at third isn't too fast, but once she gets to it, she'll get the ball around quickly. PJ in left is a pretty average left fielder. Brett Olson in center is where I'm glad I'm playing at Tin Can Alley. He's probably not going to see a lot of action in center there. And he's not going to be too different from any other center fielder. Faye Dawson in right will gun the ball quickly. I'm glad she's playing there instead of somewhere that sees more action. Perry Marks at second is going to be a bit of a weak spot in this defense. We'll see how many times this ball gets relayed through him. Sophie Meyer at first is going to be a good first basewoman, and I think come on to pitch first after Frank. And Larry Walker catching. He's a good catcher, not too much else to say about that. So, yeah, not really a defense with much in the way of weak spots. Perry is weak, but I can't really reliably harness that. I can just hope it gets decent bonuses. So I'm just going to have to hit well to succeed here, or get lucky. Promising one there, but it went foul. For my usual, I swapped to line drive with 2 strikes. I do this with basically any player who's not. If I don't need a home run and nothing else, or if the player is super slow and home run's the only useful thing. But with the vast majority of hitters, line drive with 2 strikes. There we go. There's a solid one. It is straight towards PJ, but it's going to go off the wall. For a leadoff single for Keisha. That's what we like to see. And that brings up Ricky Johnson. For any latecomers here, Ricky is boosted today. His speed is boosted. It's showing as 10 balls on the strategy screen. Who knows how much that exactly is, but should be useful in any case. I'm gonna just try to put one in play and let the speed boost do the rest. Fouls first pitch off. I'm also seeing a lot of lag right now with my game. Unfortunately, that's just something that happens with 01 on my computer. It doesn't happen with 03. I'm not sure what causes it. It's an annoyance. I'll do my best to compensate. 0-2 for Ricky. Frank is pitching well so far. Not giving me anything easy to work with. Ricky fouls it off. That one is going to be inside for ball 1. I don't cancel the steal attempt in time, so no more hit and run possibility here. I can swap the line drive swing, so I'm not stuck grounding the ball at the first baseline if it's an outside pitch. Sort of like that. Hey, there you go. That works. Ricky is a fast boy here today. Larry cannot make the throw anywhere in time. Single for Ricky Johnson. 2 fast runners on base. More fast runners than I have on my entire team normally. And that brings up Jocinda Smith. I don't have a super lot of hitting experience with Jocinda specifically, but her near clone Heather Quinn, who has the exact same batting stats, has been pretty good for me with hitting, so I feel pretty good about Jocinda. Not amazing, but it'll be enough to get stuff done. Sophie's just tall enough and just fast enough to get to first base in time to tag it and get Jocinda out. But it does advance the runners. Runners on second and third, and the boss is up to bat. Sally Dobbs, who has won a title 2 seasons in a row, both times with Emory. We will see if I can do him proud with her. In my own experience with Sally, I've had trouble utilizing her consistently. That's a good hit, though. Straight off the trailer. Brett is going to the field, but Keisha is across already, taking him a minute to be able to actually catch the ball. Ricky, with his speed boost, able to make it across the plate easily. That's a 2 RBI single for Sally Dobbs, and it is 2-0 Blue Jays. That brings up Lisa Crockett, runner on first with 1 out. This is a good start, I would say. Anytime I can score 2 runs in the first with this team, I'm going to be happy. This is a defense team. I normally don't score a lot with defense teams. If I win with this team, it's going to be by keeping my opponent's scores down. At least that is the thinking. Low for ball 1. 1-1 the count. On a related note, I made Frank throw 15 pitches already, and there's only 1 out. Frank is one of the pitchers who I generally assume is impossible for me to tire out. But I'll try. I best read that one thanks to the lag. I thought it was going to land before I got into Cal's glove, but it fell in there on the fly, so my rushing of Sally forward seems pretty silly with that in mind, but she's able to tag up just fine. Line out by Lisa, but Sally is able to tag out. 2 outs now. Randy Johnson, the hitter. Let's see if he can crank out a rare good hit. I know some people in this server are really big fans of Randy's hitting. I've never been able to use it that well. As a kid or as an adult. 1-1 the count. That's another 1 off. Frank got the pitch at least 20 pitches in the first inning alone. Randy's trying to stall for time as much as possible. That was another 1 off. 1-2. This is my second BBL season with Randy. I previously used him in BBL season 4 with my Atlanta Braves team that went 4-10 in the end. Randy ended up being more or less the best relief pitcher ever that season, as I had my Ace Wilson winning Chucky Flinder on the team as well, and just to have him be my primary pitcher. Randy continues to foul it off. I'm going for the old JBA strategy here, just foul the ball off a bajillion times. We'll see if it works. Frank has high stamina, a pitcher who can last a long time, but maybe I can find his limits. He misses strike zone with 1, so it's now 2-2. Randy fouls yet another 1 off. I will say I'm not intentionally swinging to try to foul. I'm not sure how I would do that other than timing, but I'm just trying to make contact, and Randy keeps fouling it off. Frank is now at 25 pitches, and it's still the first inning. It's now a full count for Randy. Can we get my favorite play, the base on foul balls? There we go. Nope. Randy puts it in play. Unfortunately, the ball is hit straight to Faye for a very anticlimactic ending to the at-bat. He worked a lot, probably wore down Frank a decent amount, but in the end, did just line out in the end. Still, in the middle of the first inning, it's 2-0 Blue Jays. That is a success in my book. Freak Show made the interesting choice to have PJ Sharif be his leadoff hitter. He might not have submitted the lineup. PJ's a left fielder, so. And he hits it to Jocinda at third. She is able to make the play, though, for the first out. That brings up Randy Uno, the third baseman, so no. I guess Freak Show did set up his lineup. I'd be curious to know why he had an impressive hitter like PJ leading off. There's not really any right or wrong strategy, I don't think, for setting up your AI lineup, other than don't do anything stupid like have Barrett, Greenwald batting after Fabian Callahan. I'm curious as to his strategy. Randy chooses not to swing. I wasn't even thinking about it, but struck her out for the second out. And that brings up Larry Walker. The Canadian Clubber, as he's calling his in-game nickname. I have no idea if he was known as that in real life or not, Larry Walker was before my time. Or if he did play at the same time that I was starting to be interested in baseball, I didn't hear about him. Either way, I have no knowledge of the real-life one from my childhood. And a flawless strikeout. I am well aware that does refund 10 stamina to Frank, but whatever, so be it. Alright, 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the first for the Astros. Flawless first for Randy Johnson. Top of the second, it is 2-0, and Dmitry Petrovich is leading off. Dmitry I last played with in Season 8 with my successful Melonheads team that did play at Tin Can Alley. He did very well for me here, so hopefully he has a big game here. I was a much bigger Dmitry believer going out of Season 8 than I was going into it. And honestly, it probably makes my team stronger that all the taller players were taken and I had to take a shorter player in Dmitry when I did in the draft. I think his skill set is more useful for me. Give some much needed pop to this lineup. 2-2 the count, as Frank is missing the plate a couple times. Might still be somewhat tired from his pitching stint. He did get a healthy stamina refill, but whatever. We're back to making him work for it. 5 pitches just in the first at-bat alone. And we're not done yet. I wonder if this is just a side effect of me not being as used to 0-1 and the slightly slower, choppier pace of play it has. 2-2 the count. Oh, heck, maybe it's just my timing for tonight. Alright, that was the game's lag messing with my timing. All's well that ends well, but that did not end well. Timing messed up a bit. Popped up behind second, and Perry was able to catch it for the first out. So this is probably not going to be a very interesting inning. Billie Jean is up. Billie Jean more or less needs a miracle to get on base. We are going to hold until 2 strikes. Neither of those were very appealing pitches anyway. 0-2 is the count. And ball one. I wasn't sure about that, but that would have been a hard one to hit if it had been in the strike zone. It is 1-2. That one is in the strike zone. Billie Jean puts it in play. Almost a chance of beating it to base, but Larry did come up to field that one. Just barely out at first. 2 outs. Tony is going to hit this one as far as he can. I doubt it will be enough to accomplish anything significant this inning, but we'll give it the old college try, as I say. Nobody on and 2 out here in the second inning. Looking to start fresh with the top of our lineup in the next inning. But maybe not. That is hit well. That is going to hit the newspaper bin. Unfortunately, it is off the side instead of bouncing at the top. I really could have used some extra bases with him. Now Keisha's going to have to hit something really well in order for Ricky to not just be forced to waste all my fast runners in the inning. Let's see if she can... Nope, that one is hit straight into the ground. Oh, and Sophie gets it, throws Tony out at second, and that is it. For the second inning, unfortunately did use up Keisha in that, but oh well. 'Tis the way it happens sometimes. It is still 2-0 going into the bottom of the inning. Sophie Meyer is up. A lot less dangerous here at Tin Can Alley than she would be at most fields. She could, of course, very easily get a home run, but the odds are much lower. Fouls that one off. 0-2 the count. I am going to not break the cardinal rule and throw a heater to a big power hitter. That is just asking for trouble. And she does not try to swing at it. Strike 3. And third strikeout for Randy Johnson. Randy having a much higher strikeout rate so far in the actual season than he was in my scrimmages. I was pitching the same way, but the hitters were doing that a lot more. Billie Jean decides to run off the bag. That was completely not my fault, I assure you. Fate does make it onto first base and sets up a potential double play. A very convenient bit of the AI acting of its own accord, but it was the AI acting of its own accord. I can hardly pitch to contact to try to horse a double play, though, with Perry Marks as a hitter. I just have to hope he makes weak contact on his own. Oh, high pop-up towards first. No one is going to catch it. It lands. That's going to be a base hit, folks. And, oh my goodness. Tag him at second, though. And that was a debacle there. Just clicking on the ball, trying to field it, but then Randy refused to run to it. Billie Jean ran away. And it just kept bouncing out there. Fortunately, we were able to tag Perry out at second for the second out. But that does put Faye on third base, which is a bit of a tricky situation. Definitely, I think, to play most to my advantage here is to strike out Cal Ripken. Cal Ripken Jr. Another player from before my time, like I think most of the pros in 01 exclusive pros are. He's one I'd heard more of, though. About. And from what I've read about his career and stuff, definitely one of the cooler ones to have just as a pro in the game. One of the best pro choices probably there is. And fortunately, he just grounds out straight to the mound, so crisis is averted. The Astros do not score in the second. It is still 2-0 as we head into the third inning. Ricky Johnson leading off. For anyone joining late who missed it, he does have a speed boost thanks to it being his birthday. He is at least a tier 6 speed today. And that is helpful to say the least. Just have to put the ball in play and let his legs do the rest. Ricky would be a much more in-demand player if he was always this fast, I can tell you that. Easy single there on a ground ball up the third base line. That brings up Jocinda Smith. 1 on, nobody out. And a nice hit there by Jocinda, but unfortunately PJ is able to move over to catch it easily. A little more to the right and it would have been off the dumpster, and that would have been quality. 1 out then. Jocinda not been able to find any gaps so far. Sally Dobbs is now the hitter. She bat 2 runs in the first inning. Let's see if she can do it again here. Looks like that one was more towards the outer edge of the strike zone. Closed stance would have probably served me better on that pitch. Oh well. That is going to be inside for ball 1. 1-1 is the count. And that is a nicely hit ball there, pulled to the left side. That is... Oh, it is in the gap, over the building. Home run over the Tin Can and Billy building for Sally Dobbs. And it is 4-0 Blue Jays. She hit it to that sweet spot. I'm not sure if it would have been high enough to clear the building most of the field, but that particular gap there in the left center field area, I don't think you have to hit it this high to get it over. Anyway, 664-foot home run by Sally Dobbs. The boss indeed. Lisa Crockett now the hitter. Pops that one towards first. Sophie running away from the ball. I was hoping it might bounce off the back of her head. Unfortunately, she was able to field it ably. For the second out, Randy Johnson is now up. So far, my not fast to not power bat hitters are not doing super duper. Tin Can Alley's not a great place for those sorts of players though either. But no gaps or anything like that yet. Randy just going to prolong this at-bat as much as possible. He had quite the impressive at-bat in the first inning. Something like 10-plus pitches before he finally lined out to right. Frank is at 50 pitches here in the third inning. I don't know how tired he is. With Frank, you can't bank on too much, and it won't really have that much of an effect with him going to first base. And being as big as he is. And slow by default. Alright, Randy has to pop one up the first baseline. It does land. He made it. I could tell what happened there. He made it safely to the base, but I was rushing him just a little too much, and I accidentally sent him to second, and so when he stepped off the bag, he was tagged out. So, should have been a single for Randy Johnson, but a bit overzealous in the clicking. If I hadn't clicked so much, he probably wouldn't have made it, though. Too close play. Probably if I had clicked a little, had been a little better with my placement of the clicks, that could have been avoided, but it was a rough one. Single turned into out for Randy Johnson to end the third inning. Frank Thomas is a hitter here to lead off the bottom of the third, as it's currently 4-0 Blue Jays. Randy having some surprising trouble hitting the strike zone here. Also starting to lose a bit of effectiveness here with these pitches. Randomly pitches to the opposite side of the strike zone for what I aimed for. Go figure. Alright, a more juice would be really nice here. Frank does swing late on the heater to strike out for the first out, and that brings up Brett Olson, who I could probably do my very best to make him hit the ball, and he would strike out anyway. Tries to bunt, but misses. I do not like the pitch-to-contact play style, even though it is quite possibly in my best interests to pursue it, so this is a sort of player I am. I ignore the meta when I don't feel like using it. And so that means, in this case, no pitching to contact, and strikeout city. Randy's 5th strikeout of the game comes here in the 5th. And the game is trolling me. It refuses to give me any more juice. And my power-up slots are now full, so I would have to use one of those and use up a significant amount of juice to get more juice. PJ is up and grounds out easily to end the third inning, and so we are going into the fourth. It is 4-0 Blue Jays. Dmitry Petrovich, who, as I might remind you, is the shortest player on the team, leading off the inning. But again, with Frank as a pitcher, I don't think there's much advantage anyway to really trying hard to wear down his stamina. So I don't think the stamina regeneration for the AI team is even accomplishing very much here. Two 2-0, Frank having his own troubles pitching regardless of how much stamina he's getting between innings. Hit high, but it doesn't look like it's quite far enough. That's going to land straight up Brett. If it had been just a bit right, it would have been on the trailer. Instead, it's just a really high fly out. Dmitry having some trouble today. Billie Jean is a hitter. At least she's a hitter I expect to struggle. Just has extremely low power and is not fast, and that's not a winning combination. Speeds up the process. Maybe should have waited. Oh well. Grounds it straight back to Frank. This is probably going to be a quiet fourth inning, folks. Tony Delvecchio is now the hitter. Takes strike one on a nasty corner pitch. I've played with Tony once before in the BBL. That was Season 7, aka my worst season ever. Tony was not a big part of that lack of success. He struggled in the first half of that season, but made up for it in the second half. He was one of the better draft picks I had that season, too. He just was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Tony's an okay player. I've never been super great with him, though. His skill set isn't the sort I play the best with. Frank missing the strike zone a lot. It's 3-1 right now on Tony D. Nobody is on, and there are 2 outs. Tony fouls one off. It is a full count. Pops one up. Is that going to be on the trailer? It is. Bounces off the trailer straight to Brett, who then launches it onto the trailer and throws the ball into no man's land where absolutely nobody is making a move for it. Tony gets second base for free, and then Cal runs and just stands on the ball. And then the play ends. Okay. The play ended without anyone even picking up the ball. Tin Can Alley shenanigans for you, folks. Tin Can Alley shenanigans for you. Keisha Phillips is now up 1 for 2 today. was up with Tony on at the end of the second inning and got out. To end the inning, let's see if she can do better this time. Chases one outside and misses. Could really use a play to advance Tony here with Ricky Johnson on deck. Line drive, straight to PJ and left. Keisha lines out to end the inning. And so, we go into the bottom of the fourth. It is currently 4-0 Blue Jays. A very formulaic game for my lineup so far. We'll see if we deviate at all from it in the fifth, hopefully in my favor. Randy Uno now there. One of my players last season on the Melonheads. That doesn't mean I'm going to go easy on her, though. Randy is failing to regenerate all of the stamina between innings, which is a bit annoying to say the least. That ball is going to no man's land, but Keisha is able to run over and grab it for the first out. That brings up Larry Walker, who struck out his first at-bat. Not striking out this time as he just lays down an easy bunt instead. You do you, Larry. Easy second out, and Sophie Myers is out. Grounds one straight towards first. Billie Jean is not able to grab it. Bounces off the dumpster. Can Dimitri get it in on time? He cannot. It's a single for Sophie. Not even a double play chance on that one. Well hit. That brings up Faye Dawson, who did single in her first at-bat. A clean single, too. Maybe the most dangerous player in this lineup. That one bounces into left. Sally gets it, though, and is able to get it to second base in plenty of time. For the third out, we are out of the fourth with no big damage done. It is 4-0 Blue Jays. Fast birthday-boosted Ricky Johnson here is going to try to get us to making it more than that. If I can get 2 more runs here, like from Ricky and Sally again, I'll be pretty happy. Maybe I won't be able to even do that much, but who knows? We'll do our best. And that's what matters. Ricky puts the ball in play. Straight to Frank, but Frank takes long enough to throw it to first set. Ricky is able to beat it out, and I did stop clicking in time this time. Leadoff single for Ricky. All right, Jocinda is up. She is 0 for 2 today. Let's see if she can get her first hit here. Goes straight to Sophie. Sophie is able to tag Jocinda out at first, but Ricky does make it to second on the play. Sack grounder for Jocinda. Could be worse. Sally is now up. She has a 2 RBI single and a 2 RBI home run. She is responsible for all the runs batted in so far this game. Let's see if she can knock 2 more on here. Honestly, if she could just score Ricky, I'm happy with that. Frank might troll me in that quest, though, here. If he just refuses to hit the strike zone. Frank at 70 pitches. Sally fouls one off. The count is 2-1. Another one foul off. 2-2 on Sally, with a runner on second and 1 out. That one might have been inside. Definitely not worth the risk of getting caught looking for strike 3, though. Still 2-2 on another foul ball. That one is high. That one scared me as it was crossing the plate. It looked like it might have actually been in the strike zone, but nope. Ball 3. Too close for comfort. Fouls it off. Full count on Sally. This team seems to be good at racking up a lot of foul balls. So we got that going for us, which is nice. Another foul as my background sounds randomly turn off. This happens for me on 0-1. I don't know what causes it. Timing a bit off, but it works out. Okay. Unfortunately, it went straight to Faye, who was able to throw Sally out easily at first, but Ricky did move to third, so if Lisa can put the ball in play here and not be out, we'll get another run. That's what we're hoping for, at least. Lisa 0 for 2 today, though. This is my 4th BBL season with Lisa, but my first time having her in 4 seasons, I believe. I had her in seasons 3, 4, and 6. Season 4 in particular, she was one of the best players on the same team that had Randy Johnson, actually. That Braves team. Also pretty valuable on my Season 3 team. Season 6, she struggled some more. And Lisa hits it straight to Frank. Ricky not getting a chance to score this time, so looks like it's going to be just 4 runs for the Blue Jays this game. Unless the bottom of my lineup can really pull something together. Bottom of the 5th now, Perry Marks is a hitter. Not a heater with a power hitter like Perry. Perry got on base with a very silly play his last at bat, but then got tagged out going for second. This time he just refuses to swing and strikes out instead. That brings up Cal Ripken Jr. Takes a second pitch, hits it, that's going to go off the trailer. So that's going to be a base hit for Cal. Oh, or, let's see. As Sally drops it, he goes for 2. And there was time to throw the ball to second in time. Tin Can Alley tends to be an easier field for defense because the AI is suicidally overconfident. They love to go for extra bases at the slightest provocation. And so it can be really easy to tag them out as they go for extra bases they really couldn't get. And that was a prime example there. Sally just fumbled the ball a little bit. Cal was off, but nowhere near being able to actually make it to the base on time. 0-2 is a count on Frank Thomas, who has struck out once this game and will strike out again. Randy's 7th strikeout on the game. And that side is retired. Randy leading off for the 6th inning. Bottom of my lineup hasn't been producing anything so far today. Let's see if the 6th can be something different. There's always hope. But yeah, for the most part, this team just hasn't done great at hitting the gaps or getting good hits. Just Ricky being fast and Sally getting a couple big hits. And that's been mostly it. Sometimes you do have games like that. 1-1 is count on Randy. Frank now in excess of 80 pitches. He has done an able job on the mound here. Not been an easy nut to crack. And Randy lines one toward the second base side. In most cases, a base hit. This is a time where them having Faye Dawson in right field works to their advantage, though, as her extra powered arm is able to throw him out easily. 1 out. Dimitri is up. If I'm going to accomplish anything this inning, it's going to have to happen here. He is 0 for 2, though. Has not been able to come through so far. Not going to be able to come through on a nasty corner strike like that either. 0-1 the count. That one looks too low to hit well. In fact, it's not even in the strike zone. Ball 1. 1-1. That's why it's useful not to just swing at any pitch you see, even if you think it's in the strike zone, because it might just be a ball. Obviously, that doesn't apply so much when you have 2 strikes, but less than 2 strikes is a very luxurious position to be in. And no good. Dimitri can't make good contact. Larry faceplants as Frank catches the ball for the 2nd out. Gonna take a miracle here to not have the inning end here with Billie Jean and her slow speed and weak power against a competent infield. We'll try. We shall try. Of course, Frank could walk her. That might work. Frank at 90 pitches. He has had a lot of balls thrown this game. I don't know why I swung at that. Definitely a better move to take. In fact, I'm curious now. Let's take a look at the stats before the game ends. For Frank. Frank has thrown 91 pitches, almost 30 of them have been balls. Just under 1/3 of his pitches. Not super duper. Whoa! And that was on grounder swing, too. Well, it goes foul, so nothing coming of that. Otherwise, I probably would have been a base hit. 2-2 the count. And fouls that one off. Frank has not struck anybody out, but he also has not given up any walks this game. So he's got that going for him. Billie Jean barely puts it in play. That's going to be one that Larry can field easily, though. Sophie barely has enough time to get to the base, and so nothing doing in the 6th inning. Only 8 hits for the Blue Jays on the game. Not a strong game there, but it's, you know, what you're going to do. Hitters couldn't find any gaps that time. That's going to happen sometimes. I don't feel like it was one of the worst games I've ever had. It didn't feel like I was horribly unable to do anything, but it wasn't an easy situation. Not a great field for this team. Not an easy defense to get a leg up on. Not an easy offense to get a leg up with. I don't know if I have another Tin Can Alley game this season, actually. We'll see. We definitely would have probably done better if Dimitri had been hitting up to par, though. That's probably the biggest disappointment of this game, is that Dimitri didn't come through. 0 for 3, despite normally doing quite well at TCA. That brings up PJ Sharif. Now, especially that we're not hitting more, we're going full on for strikeouts. PJ pops that one up to left, though. Bounces off the back of Jocinda. That's going to be a single. Nothing we can do about that. Are we going to do this again? The patented oops. Double play in the 6th once we finished batting. We'll see. Randy Uno is a hitter. I'd rather collect 2 more strikeouts here, honestly. Get around even 10 for Randy. We shall see what we can do. Randy painting the corners, but it's working. 0-2's a count on Randy Uno. Randy teaching Randy who's boss. Is able to make contact on the 3rd pitch, though. Bounces straight up to Sally. It is, in fact, the patented oops. Double play in the 6th inning once it's too late for the power-up to matter. If only there was a 7th inning, because Ricky would have been coming up to bat. Oh well. And that is game. Final score today is Blue Jays 4, Astros 0 for a +4. With a defense-based team such as this, you never truly know. It's possible that this is a winning score. However, Freak Show just has to get a +4 to beat me. He has a power-built team here at Tin Can Alley where they should do well. So this is very likely another opening week loss. My last opening week win, in fact, was all the way back in Season 5. So, yeah, there's that. There's always hope with the Melonhead, so. Alright, taking a quick look at the round league and the stats. The Dodgers beat the Yankees in the Battle of Irrelevance, if anyone was interested in that. Doesn't look like anything too unusual here. Pretty low scoring week in the around the league. So yeah, stats, the clear player of the game is Sally Dobbs, who went 2 for 3 with a single, a home run, and all 4 RBI on the game. Honorable mention to Ricky Johnson, who scored 2 of the runs and went 3 for 3 with 3 singles on his birthday. That birthday boost was useful, and we would have had a worse score without it. That's for sure. As you can see, though, I mean, more than half of my lineup failed to record a hit on the game. Only 4 players managed to do anything at all. So, definitely rough when that happens. Randy Johnson deserves mention, though, for his complete game shutout. Only 3 hits allowed, 8 struck out. Very solid game on the ground. Alright, looking ahead, next week for the Blue Jays, we are going to be facing Visery and the Boston Royals at our home of Dirt Yards. I haven't seen yet what the Royals will do in week 1, but I am pretty scared for that matchup. I don't think it's going to go well for us unless our defense turns out to just be super duper usefully annoying. Or unless Dirt Yards really plays to our favor. We'll see. In any case, I'll be there then, and probably later this week as well on the stream for the Melonheads first game. Until then, thanks for watching, everybody. See you later.